Welcome back to Beyond the Pole. I'm your host, Katrina Lee, and we have a new concept that's developing right now on this radio show. I'm super excited. So if you're interested in joining with us, contact us on Facebook, Beyond the Pole Radio, and we also have Beyond the Pole. Or you can find me on Katrina Lee on Facebook and send me a message. Sometimes I don't catch it right away, so give me a chance. If you're on my Facebook, you can always comment, say, check your inbox, and I will look it up right away. I am looking for a cast of characters who are wild, zany, not afraid of being on TV. You could be behind the scenes and just do the radio, but we're looking for people because we are going to be filming. We have a YouTube station. We're going to be on Fox Network. And I want people who are just out there, like fun personality, no shame. It's going to be part of Life Without Shame Generation 2. I'm not saying you have to be like hookers or completely naked or anything, but like, kind of how Jackass was back in the day, like the CKYs, stuff like that. Just fun and in good spirit. Back in the day, Life Without Shame had different controversial topics, and some of it dealt with like bum Olympics and things like that. We won't be that wild and zany, but we're still going to have a really good time. A quick reminder, Vanessa Skies is going to be at the Body Shop in Buffalo. It's 1285 William Street, and it's downtown. She's going to be there June 28th and 29th. She's in Teasum, Bikini Calendar, Sweet Inked Magazine feature, Expressions Magazine. It's going to be a good time. They have a car show upcoming, lots of things. It's that time of year there's many, many festivals and just going on everywhere. The clubs tend to be a little slower, but it's also SAG season, so a lot of the girls you won't catch there at the clubs as frequent as you would per se if you're at a SAG. So Dawn's not answering right now. It's kind of crazy in developing this new thing, but I wanted to start with every show having the porno of the week. So this week's porn review is Hustler by obviously Larry Flint, and it's called Lesbian Perverts. It stars Alicia Lighthouse, Belle Noor, Christy Stevens, Sarah Jesse, Deanna Dare, Christian Lee, Nora Novov, and Skylar Madison. And I enjoyed it. I had a special toy that I did get from Dawn. I'm more a clit simulator person. I don't really need the penetration. Maybe if you're pleasuring me orally, if you're going downtown, you could slide a finger in and like hook it and hit the G spot. And then, I'm a squirter, so that's great. But I can do it pretty easy on myself with just a simulator. So I need background noise, usually in images. So it was pretty nice with the lesbian perverts. It was enjoyable. They were attractive girls. They weren't making a lot of stupid noises. There were some scenes with strap-ons. Actually, 2 of the scenes in a row had the same exact strap-on, so I guess they reuse and share the love through multiple girls, so hopefully they sterilize it correctly. But that was going on. I would ask Dawn, and I would suggest, what toy cleaner do you think you should use? But you can go into adult stores. You can order online on foreplaybuzz.com. You can go into my adult store, which is in Playmates in Batavia, Byron area. It's a strip club. It's open 7 days a week from 7 o'clock till 2 o'clock. And I have toy cleaner there, and you can pick that up. So if you get glass vibrators, you can stick them right in the dishwasher and they can clean them. And then you can actually freeze them and stick them in the freezer. Or you can microwave them. So if you want hot sensations or you want cool sensations. And it's kind of the cleanest, most hygienic vibrator to have. Some of the glass vibrators where you can still vibrate and they have batteries, but you have to be careful that you don't drop them or they will shatter all over the place. So I've had my share of toys. I do sell them. They're at my adult store. Anyone can check it out. It's open, like I said, late. There's adult stores in the area. In Rochester, Showworld's a big one around. In Buffalo, you can go to Essentials. There's Pandora's Box. There's Video Liquidators. Video Liquidators usually has a porn star of the month that's linked to Scores or New York Showgirls when they're in town. Erie, you have the Lion's Den. Porn makes the world go round. You support the local industry. We make more money. It's always a good time. I have an adult site, and it's called thekatrinalee.com, and you can subscribe to it. It's $30 for a month, or it's actually a good deal if you get it for the whole year. And I'm feeling active, and the more people who join up, the more you're going to get. And the more you tip me, the more you're going to see. So I finally added some videos on. I've been adding a lot of pictures. I put up over 20 albums the other day. And I'm going to keep doing more and more, so send me suggestions, and I'll be your fun little puppet. We're going to change the direction of the show shortly after. So we're going to do a sing and a song break, and we shall return as Beyond the Pole and Life Without Shame Generation 2. Hey, welcome back, Beyond the Pole Radio and Life Without Shame Generation 2. I'm your host, Katrina Lee. You see me a lot of magazines through the years, and now you're seeing me a lot of movies. Speaking of movies, I have one coming out on Netflix. It's called Stage Killer. Comes out the 25th. We have a viewing party at the Quarter. It's in Buffalo. My friend Brandon Carr and my chef best friend, one of them, Chef Donald Burkus, is going to be there as it's going to be a party. It's going to be a good time. You can watch it with us. It starts at 5 o'clock. It's in Buffalo. I shall be there also, so you can meet me, and I'll gladly have a little chat if you want to buy a drink for free or my friends. So, always a good time. Can't wait. And I'm excited about seeing it. You can definitely see my face this time. It's not as hidden. Other times I'm new body doubles or background. This one I have a featured role as a waitress. And I also saw in the trailer myself, identified it right away. So I know I'm happy to say that. I had a commercial that was released for New York State Tourism, and we are part of Lewiston in the Jet Boat Tours. It's an incredible commercial. You can't really identify me. You'd have to have a microscope and zoom in. You can't really see anyone. We're extremely covered in these yellow jumpsuits, which had hoods and everything. You can barely see anyone's face. It was a really intense experience, but the commercial looks amazing. I got to work with Trazz, Peter Johnson, and he works at Buff State. He's a professor there, and he's also the casting director for a lot of movies, and also in a lot of movies himself as a SAG card holder in part of the union. And is awesome. He just wrote a book. It's called A Cow Between Two Farms, and it's about how his divorce and how he wants his kids to know it's positive, that you can go and live back and forth in both places. You get double the presents and different stuff. And he keeps it neutral, so it doesn't show any races, which is great. And it doesn't show or specify like actual divorce, so it could be like a baby mama breakup or anything. I mean, it even could be a situation where a mother was a drug addict and it was going between the father and then the grandma. I mean, there's so many options and ways you can portray the book, which was brilliant on his end. June 29th, he has a book signing, and he's going to be at the Bookworm in East Aurora, New York. I will also be there. I helped him set it up. I'm super excited. He's helping me write a book that I'm doing for Gates to Recovery, along with a video that's going to teach kids about drugs. And, that's the whole thing with the whole opioid epidemic, and everyone knows who knows me that I'm heavily involved with it. So it's kind of a step in the right direction. Super excited about things going on, but there's a casting call. Western New York is getting A Quiet Place 2, which is incredible. Like, we are a filming hub now. I can't believe how many movies that I have done myself in the past years, just driving to Syracuse and Buffalo, and also going to Pittsburgh. It's unbelievable. But it's an open casting call. It's Saturday, June 22nd, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 4 at Akron Central School, 47 Bloomingdale Ave, Akron, New York, 14001. They say bring a recent non-returnable photo and a pen, and you got to be 18 or older. They're looking for extras of all races and ethnicities. Trazz, Peter Johnson, the casting director who did The Purge and Lisa Marshall and a bunch of other movies. Kronvik is going to be the one in charge of it, so it's a great opportunity. And once you get on his good side, or you're on the casting list, you show up, you're on time, you're responsible, you get opportunities to do other movies, including multiple Lifetime Hallmark films. And like I said, Buffalo's a filming hub, so I mean, be responsible, show up, follow through with directions, and you can really kind of get far. It's kind of incredible what's going on with Buffalo and filming. So I can say personally that in the next month I have 3 projects of mine coming out that I've been working on for a while. And some people hate and they're like, oh, you're lying, you're making it up. And then you're like, well, look at me now. So I'm pretty excited. Big things happening. But on a whole crazy note, like I noticed that like life is always kind of up and down. And you never know really what's going to occur or what's going to happen. So I had this, I helped this girl. Well, this is how it started. I seen this guy and he got mad at me. It was stupid, the whole reason. We're going to just cut this short and dry. If you listen to other shows, you would understand it. Just leads into it. But he paid this girl to fight me $300 when he was drunk, and he changed his mind the next day. But he gave her my phone number, and she just didn't really stop. She was a drug addict, and then she cased me out. She lied. She had my phone number. She changed her name and said she was someone else. Stalked me down on Facebook. And then she's sending me these messages and saying she was a victim of domestic abuse and she was homeless and she needed help. And I met her and I was asked by this guy, and he didn't explain the situation because he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know she was in contact with me, supposedly. And asked me to give her $400 and I didn't have that much on me and I could only withdraw $200 from the ATM at the time because I set limits because I'm kind of a shopaholic. So I was like, I picked her up and I felt bad and she seemed nice. So I brought her to my own home, which was stupid. And she robbed me of well over $25,000, like jewelry, clothing, all different items. I don't even know the level. She went through every single drawer, picked through everything. I'm an eBay power seller. It was so much brand new items and Michael Kors purses, Victoria's Secret bras, pants, sneakers, just jewelry, my grandma's wedding rings, like my wedding rings, just everything all over the map. Just a nightmare. It is a homeowner's nightmare. And then later on, it turns out that she skips like the thing. She ends up get busted with my ID. The Thruway Authority contacts me and they sent me a letter last week. And it's literally some of my mail that they found on the side of the road. So thank you, New York State Police, for doing that and mailing it because I still my Uber card that was stolen is still intact and I can use it. And then my money order, I canceled it. So that's bad. But I mean, it's crazy. The envelope used to be bright red and it was like a very faded orange that was beat. But I don't know how it survived the snow and being outside in the winter weather. But we got that back. So that went to the homeowners. And it's nuts. But this girl then just bolts with warrants for arrest and then is hiding in Florida, which makes it extra crazy on top of it. So there's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is and just wait. And like a lost cause. So I don't know. It's just sheer irony that, of course, anything can't be normal in my life. It's just got to be stupid and complicated and a pain in the butt. But I mean, I guess if it was normal and boring, I wouldn't be the person I am, which is unique. So we're going to cut in a song break and we're getting on to new topics and fun excitement. So check it out. Beyond the Pole, Life Without Shame, Generation 2.
Hey, it's Katie Morgan. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Pole.
Hi, I'm Evan Stone, and Beyond the Pole is where you want to be. Don't be with the pole, beyond the pole.
Hey, welcome. Beyond the Pole Radio, Life Without Shame, Generation 2. And I don't know. I'm sure a lot of us, especially those who listen to this show, have been intoxicated and understand, you know, that you have hangovers and sometimes you need to sober up fast. A lot of people listening are in jail, so shout out to the Monroe County Jail inmates who listen to us every week. We love your support. Thank you. We love and support our prisoners all around, inmates. But every once in a while you need tips on how to sober up fast. So one of the first tips is avoid pills. Do not take ibuprofen, amphetamine, aspirin just before, during, or after drinking. They can cause liver damage in conjunction with alcohol. Ibuprofen can cause severe stomach irritation. Aspirin thins the blood, and it may actually exuberate a hangover and make it worse. Drink lots of fluids. Dehydration from alcohol can be treated with water, sweet juices, or sports drinks. Orange juice and tomato juice contain potassium, which will help overcome the shaky feeling of a major hangover. That's a good idea. You know, I've actually dehydrated myself, but I used to drink Jägermeister and cheese with water, and then I kind of shifted, and I was drinking shots of cherry vodka with sugar-free Red Bull, and that doesn't help you. That does not help hydration, Red Bull. So I should have always stuck with the water, and I probably wouldn't have had half the seizures or illnesses I did. But take vitamins. A good multivitamin or vitamin B complex, combats vitamin depletion. Eat starchy foods, bread, crackers, rice or pasta break down into sugar, which speeds absorption of alcohol into your system. A spoonful of honey, which is high in fructose, actually helps to quickly burn off any remaining alcohol in the stomach. Listen to your body's cravings. If eggs sound good, eat them. If something sounds spicy, eat that. If something's good and there's no right or wrong things to eat, just take your body and food slowly in all small amounts. Test it. You don't have to like wolf down the whole meal and wait until it's too late. So rest or sleep for as long as possible, which makes sense. Repeat steps 2 to 5 if you wake up with a hangover. And then tips on how to prevent a hangover. So eat before you begin to drink and snack while drinking. If you do not eat, coat your stomach with a full glass of milk. Pace yourself and drink water between drinks. Drink clear liquor. Some spirits are higher in impurities than others. Red wine, brandies, cognac, and whiskeys usually have more than other types of alcohol. The clearer your spirit, the fewer impurities, and the less severe the hangover. Champagne and mixed drinks made with carbonated sodas allow for faster alcohol absorption. They should be sipped slowly. Know your limits. In most states, the blood alcohol content BAC at 0.10 means you are legally drunk, and some states now use stricter 0.08 BAC. For most average-sized adults, this can mean as few as 2 drinks in an hour. Trust me, been there, done that, can confirm. Do not mix your liquors. So each spirit has different toxins that must be processed by your liver. It is best not to overload it. So before going to bed, you should have a snack of a banana or cheese and crackers. Keep water beside your bed and drink it if you weaken during the night. And that's pretty much the tricks on how to sober up fast and how to prevent a hangover. Gary, how do you prevent hangovers?
I'm not very good at preventing them except for drinking good alcohol, I find.
Yeah.
The next day, if I have a headache, it's tough to get rid of. I have to do the aspirin. But that run down feeling, I had a friend tell me to do ice cream. And I've done it, and it's amazing. Because the amount of sugar you put in your body with an ice cream kind of like gives you a pep. And I guess when you pee, I've heard you get rid of the sugar in your body doing that because of the alcohol. So I don't know. It's what my drinking friends tell me to do. Maybe they're just messing with me. But I thought it worked good.
Yeah. Now there's all different tricks. I like, you know what? I drink a lot of Jägermeister, but I always did shots and I drink tons of water with it. Never did the Red Bull back then when I started. It wasn't the thing, and it was I never really was hungover. I might have not remembered what happened the night before, but I never threw up. I never felt like garbage. Got right up, started back the next day. Jägermeister.
Yeah, the days of Jägermeister.
Oh, they're trying to bring back the Meister. I see these like glorious commercials, and I'm like, Jaeger.
On my Facebook feed, there's shoes and shirts and flags and everything that come by, and I thank you every time because you wounded me with Jägermeister one time. And it just,
Yeah. Oh, well, there's your own choice. But I'm so excited. We have Trazz Peter Johnson. He's going to be calling in. He is a casting director. He starred in multiple movies. Upcoming, he is doing A Quiet Place 2, The Purge, Marshall, many others. He wrote a book, 15 Things That Your Black Friends Won't Do. He wrote a children's book about his kids and a divorce going on, which is amazing. He's going to be all around the place. And he's in a movie upcoming with me that will be out on the 25th called Stage Killer. And you can actually see his face in the New York State tourism commercial. He's the guy getting doused with the water if you look at it. That's him. He's a professor at Buff State. He teaches acting classes. He's kind of well-rounded individual, so I'm excited. We're going to take a break. We're going to call him after a quick song break, and he will be on the air. All right. Hey, welcome back. We're Beyond Pole Radio, Life Without Shame Generation 2. I'm your host, Katrina Lee, and it's 106.3 RochesterFreeRadio.com, WRFZLP Rochester. We have a really cool guest on the line. He's from Buffalo, and there's a lot of things going on in his life. It's Peter Johnson. Just a lot of things. So I figure we'll target and try to stick with certain stuff and topic, or we'll end up jumping all around because I'm kind of random like that. So, I know there is a movie coming out on Netflix on Tuesday. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Wait a minute. Am I cool? Word. Oh, word. I'm cool. That's funny. I'm sorry. I just thought about that. But no, it is a movie coming out on Netflix called Stage Killer. It was directed by a good friend of mine, Chris Olin Ray. He's the son of legendary director Fred Olin Ray. And the movie is produced by Deinstitutionalized Films. And a good friend of mine, he's a partner with that company. His name is Gerald Webb. And yeah, we shot the movie in Buffalo. We shot it, I don't know, maybe last year or something like that. Movies usually take about a year to come out, and we're excited because this one, we didn't know if it was going to be on one of the local stations, which, usually like Lifetime, Hallmark, Ion, or something, but it looks like they did a deal with Netflix, so I'm excited. I'm in the film. I was the casting director, locally for it as well, so I'm anxious to see how the film turned out.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it, so... And lots of upcoming projects. So you just did a commercial that's out, and actually everyone can see your face in it. So why don't you tell us about that
Oh
experience?
my gosh, it was, so as an actor, I don't know, I've done a lot in my career. I've, probably done, close to 30 movies, and even with commercials, probably close to 10 or 15. And this was like the worst. This was the worst I've ever experienced. It's a I Love New York commercial. And, I was fortunate enough to cast that and be an actor in that one as well. And so it's I Love New York spot. And what they do is they kind of do a tour of the state of New York, highlighting different attractions and stuff that's in New York. And for this one, I got a chance to be a part of the Lewiston Whirlpool jet boat. And if you don't know about the Whirlpool jet boat in Lewiston, it's a like jet boat, speedboat that goes like 50 to 60 miles per hour down the Niagara Rapids. Which may sound fun to you, right? But it was when we shot the commercial. We shot the commercial right in the beginning of May, and usually for Western New York, we will have like decent weather, but this year has been like up and down. So the ice just melted off of the rapids right around that time. So, and then it was cold and rainy that day. And my son actually was hired to be in the commercial with me. And I was like the day before, I had to look at the weather report and I had to like pull him out of it because I was like, I got to be a dad first. And even though he wanted to make the money, I know I'm going to be the person that has to stay home with him when he's like sick with pneumonia.
Yeah.
So I had to pull him out of the commercial, and we did the commercial. It was interesting. Like I said, again, it was they had at least 5 different cameras on us, and we were going down the Niagara Rapids, and I'm in the front row, and water is just being dumped on you nonstop, and it's like 30 gallons of water. It's like, originally I thought it was going to be like the waterlog ride or something at Six Flags, but it was like that, just in the worst way. It's like 30 gallons of water coming down on you in freezing cold water in the Niagara Rapids. And we did it like 8 or 9 times, which was like, after I think the 3rd or 4th time, it became torture. But it turned out great. The commercial is out now, and everyone that was in the commercial with me sacrificed their time and their health for about 5 seconds in the commercial. So if you want to act, then welcome to this world.
Lots of hours in that. Actually, a bunch of my friends in Erie, Pennsylvania said they saw it, so they're like impressed. It's coming up all over Rochester, Erie, so it's just not in the Buffalo area already. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a great commercial. It was really, really a great commercial, and I was surprised at the shot of my face that they got because I looked really happy and surprised when that wasn't my demeanor the whole day.
No, it looked good though.
Yeah, it was cool.
So you have a casting call this Saturday. What's that about? Or information for our listeners. We have a huge Rochester base.
Unfortunately, I'm bound by like non-disclosures, so I can't really say what the film is. It's a pretty big film that's coming to this area, to the Western New York area, Akron area. We're shooting kind of all over the place, and we are looking for background performers. We're looking for stand-ins. But like I said, unfortunately, it's just because they have us tied down. The studio has us tied down through non-disclosures. It's hard for me to like.
No, but I mean, you can say like where their audition is on Saturday or where to go. You can say that stuff. You don't have to say details.
I was gonna say, so this Saturday, we're gonna be at Akron Central School, Akron Central, and I guess the address is 47 Bloomingdale Avenue, and we're gonna be there from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're expecting a huge turnout, and it's gonna be for a very big studio movie that'll probably be released in 2020. And if you're looking to get into the acting business, you're looking to be on sets and learn the business and get paid while doing it, I suggest you come out. All you need is a recent photo of yourself that we won't return to you. So just make sure that we can keep it, and you'll fill out a form with all of your contact information, and we will be in contact with you. Unfortunately, we can't get everyone in the film, so we'll definitely try our best to get as many people as we can, as long as you fit the part.
That's great. So I will be there. It's going to be a good time. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see you there as well.
I will. So I just finished reading one of your books, 15 Things That Your Black Friends Won't Do.
Yeah.
And I'm a white female, no debate. Like, I mean, people can't hear me on the radio and see that, but most of my fan base knows that. And what is one of the things in this book that annoys you the most that white people maybe misinterpret or do?
Oh, man. That is an interesting one. Interesting question. So, to be honest, and I wrote the book, primarily from, just my perspective. One of the first paragraphs in the book is that, black and white people are different, right? Like,
yeah.
Even though we're humans, like, we come from different backgrounds, and, there are a lot of similarities about us, but, we do share differences. And, for me, I wrote the book primarily it was just from my perspective, because I have a variety of different friends, from different ethnicities and different backgrounds. And I wanted my friends to be able to understand who I was as an individual, as a person, and where I come from. So, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of just, preconceived notions about people in different cultures. So I wrote this book that's, again, just my perspective. And a lot of it seems to be true for some reason. Like, again, I'm talking 100% just from my culture and from my experience.
Yeah.
But I think, so, like, one of the things in the book, I think it's like the first chapter is I talk about your black friends won't go swimming, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. One of the things is, like, I wrote the book primarily as, like, a stand-up routine, but I also give, like, real facts behind this stuff, because it's you could say, oh, black people don't do this, white people don't do this, but you have to give an explanation behind it, right? So my explanation as a 30-something-year-old man, the actor never gives away his age, right? So 30-something-year-old man, I don't know how to swim, right? And it's like, you would think as a 30-something-year-old man, that's embarrassing. But, as an African-American male, I grew up in the city of Buffalo, on the east side of Buffalo, right? And in that neighborhood, for anyone that is familiar with that neighborhood, it is a lower income section. And most people in my neighborhood didn't have pools, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not something, pools cost money. Pools cost upkeep, So when you're living on that section of town, no one in your neighborhood has a pool. You may have one person within, like, 6 blocks of you that has a pool. It's like an above-ground pool. It's probably have, like, algae and nasty stuff in it, so you don't even want to go in it. And then when you grow up in the inner-city school districts, the inner-city school districts, typically in lower-income neighborhoods, they're also underfunded, right? So a lot of the school districts do not have pools as well.
Okay.
So because, you grow up in a neighborhood where no one around you, none of your neighbors have pools, even the local school district, that you may go to doesn't have a pool. As a result, you grow up, you miss a huge portion of your life not knowing how to swim, only because it's not available to you.
Okay.
Now you do have, like, maybe your local YMCA or maybe the local neighborhood pool that everybody goes into. But then, like, if you had a mother like mine, my mother kept me away from, like, the neighborhood pools because the kids were always, like, peeing in them and stuff. So, like, while they were in the water and all that stuff. So, like, my mother did her job in keeping me away from, like, the neighborhood public pools because she didn't feel they were sanitary.
Yeah.
So again, you grow up your adult life not learning these things only because they're not available to you. Not because, like, oh, black people are scared of water and all this. Like, no, it's not that. It's just something that when you grow up in the city in a lower income neighborhood, those type of amenities are not available to you.
So it
that's
must have been
one of the things
Yeah.
that's in the book, and I kind of give explanations behind it. So it's pretty cool.
So was it hell? Get all that wake. I mean, what would have happened if you fell off that jet boat?
I'd be dead. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think I did the commercial as an experience.
Yeah.
But I'll never go back on that thing again. So,
I agree. It was really scary. So.
And they made sure they put me in like the biggest life jacket they could find. So hopefully, if God forbid, if I ever fell off that thing, I'd be like a human floating device. So it was cool. Yeah.
Gary, you had a question?
Yeah, it's like as people in watching TV, we see people turning on fire hydrants and the inner city kids playing on it, and it's more of a they're inner city. They may not be all black, but that's what we see, and it's like we think that they don't have swimming pools. As far as I don't know, it's when you said that, it really struck me that's possibility.
No, it's
there.
probably right. It makes sense, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, I guess on the whole sanitary measure, because we are an adult-oriented show too. But I mean, I have a hot tub, so I guess maybe if I have sex, and I probably should clear out all the water for the next person I might bring in there. Is that inappropriate?
Yeah.
No, I think they have like chemicals for it and all that stuff. But like, hot tub is like just like, it's great for like the body, but I call it, it's just human. Like you're like human soup.
Yeah.
This is in the hot tub cooking, like just cooking dumplings or something.
I like that.
I'm enjoying the one in my backyard lately. So we have a shower show at Playmates, and I was yelling at the girls because they were doing the shower shows and they were using the same loofah, and then they were throwing it on the ground. It was sitting there for like a days or so till it was reused. I'm like, do you realize bacteria is collecting on it, and then you're just using it over and over? So I brought in new ones for them. It was kind of crazy. But what are you doing, Gary? Oh,
Sorry.
So have you ever seen the movie Undercover Brother?
Of course.
Of course, it's one of my favorites, actually. I worked at the movie theater when it came out. I used to pop popcorn for like 10 hours in the back at the Galleria Mall. It was actually a pretty good deal. I made it extra salty for myself. So do you feel that a lot of the jokes and stigmas kind of follow, or?
I think, to be honest, like all of us at some point, and I just think that that's a part of race in general, there are stereotypes, there are stigmas, and you know what, they have to come from somewhere, right? Like,
yeah.
People just don't pull them out of the sky, like they have to come from somewhere. And I think that a part of us as human beings is that we don't laugh enough, right? We don't make light of situations. And for me, I'm not a person that gets offended very easily about that stuff. Like, for me, I was a person that kind of struggled to fit in a lot of different worlds, because I was like the kid that grew up in the inner city, but my parents kind of made sacrifices for me to go to better schools, right? So like when I would go to school, I'd be like the only black kid out of like 300.
Yeah.
So I had to learn a lot of ways to laugh about certain things, to laugh about cultures, to laugh about stereotypes. And I think that a lot of us in general, that's the reason why, maybe there are divides, amongst cultures, and there's a lot of racial prejudice. It's because we don't know enough about each other, right? And then when we do know about one another, like it's always offensive or something, and we don't make light of it. We don't laugh about it because, sometimes it's just okay to laugh. So I think that, for some people, I'm not the person to get offended at stereotypes or misconceptions. To be honest, like if it's incorrect or something, I'll just correct you, but then like I'll laugh about it because, hey, it's maybe you thought about something only because you didn't know. And it's my job, if I'm of a different ethnicity, to kind of educate you. And that's what my book is really all about. It's just about educating people that don't have much connection with African Americans and saying, hey, this is what we do, this is what we don't do. The next time you come across someone that is African American, now you can know better, right? So I'm just kind of making light of it, whether it's a stereotype or not.
Yeah, no, I get that. So are you a fan of mayonnaise? Honestly, personally, I hate mayonnaise, but I remember how much it seemed that the black families hated it in Undercover Brother.
Yeah, no. Mayonnaise is white people's secret weapon.
Yeah, I remember that. I just always thought it was disgusting myself. Like, I don't like white, creamy substances usually in my mouth. That's why I always told people years ago I'm not a fan of, like, the ranch dressing, anything like that. I like my sandwiches dry.
No, you know what? There's like this thing in black culture where if we eat potato salad, right? So potato salad, you can get it, from supermarkets, or you might go to a cookout or something, and someone makes potato salad from scratch. Well, anytime you go to like a white barbecue, white cookout, like if you see the potato salad, it's usually just like white because it's made with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Well, at a black cookout, we make our potato salad with mustard, which is different because we don't want the mayonnaise taste.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's just a little bit different. So if you want me to eat potato salad, it's got to be like a mustardy color. Can't be like white. That's white people's favorite ingredient.
Yeah.
You ever try to feed me mayonnaise? I'm gonna puke.
I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I had experience. My mom packed me a tuna salad sandwich, and I didn't know when I put it on the school heater, and I ended up getting food poisoning when I was in kindergarten. So I never ate any tuna or mayonnaise again.
Well, you can't eat tuna that's hot like that.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Mayonnaise hot, on the school heater. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it was bad experience. So I did not know, and I probably would have made the mistake of giving you pumpkin pie. So what's that? The pumpkin pie versus sweet potato pie?
Yeah, so like
I didn't know that.
That's a chapter in the book. Black people don't eat pumpkin pie. And it's just, you know what, like pumpkins are to be carved. They're not to be eaten. Like what are we do? What are you doing? Like what is that all about? Like it's something you grow, but it's like pumpkin. Is it a vegetable? Like what is that? Like what is a pumpkin for real? Like, and who thought of it to eat it?
Right. Yeah, no, I have no idea.
I think it's pretty gross, right? I don't know. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is that there is a huge similarity in appearance. So like pumpkin pie will be orange, and sweet potatoes, is like an orange potato as well. And there's a huge difference in taste, and just in black culture, we eat sweet potato pie. We don't eat pumpkin pie. And if you try to feed me pumpkin pie, and if I think it's sweet potato, you might get punched in the face. You probably get punched in the face. If you tell me it's sweet potato and then it's really pumpkin, and then you try to say, you got punked, then you're just gonna end up with a black eye.
I feel I never had sweet potato pie before. I
never have either.
You're missing one of the great flavors.
You got to turn us on to it.
I know, yeah, I gotta find it. It's the wrong season, so it'd probably be impossible to find it. But years ago, they had a Cosmopolitan cover, and I'm sure you remember Burt Reynolds, but I need enough. He probably wasn't one of your huge fans, but he was he was naked there, and he had all these puppies, and they're all covering his package, and they're licking his face and stuff. So that is something you wouldn't do?
No.
No?
It's cool. There's a chapter in there that black people don't let dogs kiss them in the face. And you know what? Dogs they're great, right? So like they're sweet and they're like man's best friend, but they also lick their testicles.
Yeah.
Right? So like I don't think I want anyone that licks their testicles licking my face.
I'm with you on that, brother.
I'm just saying, like that's and they're like, oh, the dog's tongue is clean. Like he licks his testicles. Like that's that clean. And like dog, that's just something for me. I grew up, I did have a dog, growing up, right, and but like the dog never slept in the bed with me, because like. Dogs also have fleas sometimes, and they're outside sometimes, and it was just very germy. Like my mother was a germaphobe and all that stuff, and my house is extremely clean. I don't want poop on the floor, and it's just. But like dogs have a way of when they don't bathe every. Let me ask you: would you want someone kissing you that doesn't bathe every day?
I don't know. I do sleep with my dog.
Yeah. No, but do you bathe your dog every day?
No, I don't.
Okay, and so your dog's sleeping with you, and you don't bathe your dog every day, and your dog's licking you in the face, and you probably take your dog to the groomers maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Maybe I won't. What we'll do is I won't shower for a month. I won't groom myself for a month, and I'll come sleep in your bed every day. Let's see how that works out. Let's just see how that works out. We'll just see. And they'll probably put me out in like the first week and be like, I never took a shower.
No, I would hose you down, you know,
Yeah.
like if you rolled around in poop or something.
I watched him lick himself clean. And I watched him. He didn't bathe and stuff.
Yeah, you
And
could
then-
lick yourself clean. It's the same thing. I mean, I've had a lot of dirty things in my mouth. I mean, I don't know, right?
You know, I mean, that's cool for you, but like, you know, not for me. Like, no, someone that doesn't bathe every day and that licks their testicles often. I'm sorry, they can't get in my bed. They can't kiss me. I'm sorry.
No, I can see that theory. So
You see what I'm saying? Like, this is like, see, like you're next thing you know, you're gonna be like not letting your dog sleep with you after talking to me.
no, I don't think you'd allow that to happen. I think he just forced himself or be so obnoxious with the barking that I just give in, like, I can't take it anymore. But yeah,
Spoiled dog, dude.
they are. That's why they wear clothes.
They're wearing
and,
clothes, so maybe that helps.
You know, they have little stylish mohawks and everything, and you know, get their hair colored.
That's cool. Yeah, wow. You treat your dog better than some people treat their kids.
Hey, that's horrible, but true. But yeah, so you have a children's book that is out on the market, and you have an upcoming book signing with the meet and greet.
I do. So yeah, you know, I have a children's book that I just released, and it's called The Cow on Two Farms. And you know, all of my, like, a lot of my work, whether it's acting or if it's writing or something, it kind of just stems from my personal experiences, you know, what I went through and all that stuff. And even as an actor, like, I try to, if I'm playing a role, I channel, you know, all that, like, I channel my emotions from, you know, just previous experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, this book in particular, came from, you know, I was married for a couple years. I do have two beautiful children, 2 little boys, and when I got divorced, you know, it was kind of devastating, you know, to not only me but, you know, just to my kids.
Yeah.
And you know, we as people, like, we don't think about that stuff, right? Like, the divorce rate in America is 50%, and you know, we don't think about the effects of what it has on our children, and you know, how it's going to affect them psychologically growing up. And I was a product, you know, I had 2 parents growing up, so I wasn't affected. You know, my parents, you know, they had their arguments, but they would go in like other rooms and, you know, sleep, and then, you know, eventually make their way back together. So I felt, you know, when I went through my divorce, even though I was going through what I was going through emotionally and mentally, I saw how it affected my children. And for me to not be able to sympathize with them or empathize because I've never gone through that, you know, it hurt me. You know what I mean? As a parent, like, you know, you want to save your kids from any type of hurt. So the only thing I could do was, as an artist, you know, you got to turn your pain or your situations into something positive. And that's what I wanted to do. I took this book, and I wanted my kids to be able to, you know, understand that living in 2 homes, you know, it's not always such a devastating thing, you know. And I tried to make light of it and tried to make, you know, turn it into something good and make it something, you know, where now they can share memories and say, okay, my dad lived here, my mom lived here, but it wasn't so bad, you know, because a lot of us, you know, for kids that experience that, they don't address it, right? They don't address it, and then they grow up and they have these mental stigmas somewhere in their head, either hating mom or hating dad or holding some type of grudge because of what happened. And I didn't want that for my kids. I didn't want them to experience that. So I wanted to create something that they could use, and then also to help other kids, you know, that maybe have gone through the same thing. So the book, like I said, is called A Cow on Two Farms, and it follows this cow. Her name is Kathy the cow, and she comes, you know, back to her farm from grazing in the field one day and finds out that her father is, you know, gone to another farm to help that farm grow, you know, and she's sad about it, and she has to go visit her father on one farm and stay with her mother on another, and she ends up seeing a positive side in it, because she ends up making friends at her dad's farm, and then she comes back to her mom's farm where she likes the grass and the shade, and then they come to some type of medium where she wants to split her time and she wants to live on both farms, and she has to see the benefits. And it's like, oh, I get 2 Christmases, and oh my gosh, and I get double presents, and now when I go over Dad's house, I get new friends and all that stuff. So it was a lot of benefits that I wanted to focus on. So my initial book signing went really well. I sold out of all my books, and I have another one coming up June 29th at Bookworm Bookstore in East Aurora, and I'm hoping to sell out. The same thing. I don't know. It's going to be a different area for me. I don't have a huge fan base in East Aurora.
No, that's why I was going to help you with it, because I do know a lot of people out there. So
yeah,
it's getting the word out.
Even still, like, for me, it's not even about the selling the books. It's also just about marketing and getting the word out. So I'll be there the 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if anyone's listening, come on out, meet me, have some jokes, have some laughs, buy a book, and we'll have a good time.
I like, too, how his book's generic, because you're not saying specifically divorce, so it could be a breakup between a couple or a relationship, just going back and forth. It's nothing like it has to be divorce related. So it kind of fits a lot of people. And even the coloring of the farmer, it could be like Indian, black, kind of white. It's a tan person in the sun.
Absolutely. So. And that's the thing, like, I didn't want to have the book just specifically be about divorce, because there's some parents, who maybe dad has to live in another city because of a job or something like that. Mom has to stay over here, and, because the kids are in school, and, they're just living in 2 households. So that's kind of what the book is about. It's just about living in 2 households despite the situation.
Yeah, no, that's a great thing. So what has been your favorite movie role that you've done so far? Since you said you channel your personality into them.
Oh, man. I've done a lot. I don't know. What's interesting is I have played a pastor 3 times.
Okay.
I don't know what that is all about, because sometimes I can be the biggest sinner on the planet. So I don't know if this is like a joke that I don't know like what it is, but like I played a pastor 3 times in my career, and I play a pastor in the first Purge that's out. That was in theaters last year. You can see it on HBO and on demand. I played a pastor in another independent film, or called The Romans. So it's just been interesting. But for some reason, I don't know. It's almost like I'm typecasted as a pastor. I don't know. It's super weird, because like anybody that knows me is like, oh, I'm the furthest thing from a pastor. If we weren't on the radio, I'd be cursing like a sailor.
Right? Maybe it's because you're a Catholic school background. They just feel you fit it.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's really weird.
I mean, I'm holy and innocent. I was almost a nun, and then I found the strip club across the street, and it all went to hell.
Your roles are more like yours.
That's me. Like you see me on a Saturday night, and it's like, yo, this dude is Satan. This dude is not no pastor. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really weird, but that's kind of what I'm typecasted. So I guess I'm just okay with. I'm gonna keep being a pastor till the wheels fall off, right?
Right? Why not? So, and we're gonna have some quick final questions. But do you have any fun stalking experiences by fans, or any women who fell in love with you, or students, or?
Man, you know what? I don't want to jinx myself. So yeah, I'm a professor at a local college in Buffalo, so I don't want to put it out there. But yeah, like I'm a professor. I teach classes. I teach theater. I teach classes in advanced acting. I teach a drama from the African American perspective. I haven't had any stalking students. So like I said, I'm gonna knock on some wood, because my semesters have been good. But yeah, I've definitely had stalking females. Like
yeah.
That's I've had that. It was probably kind of recent. It was just weird. I had to like park around the corner because I thought she was gonna like mess up my car.
Oh wow!
It's terrible. Like like that's just I gotta park like 2 blocks away. It's like she's gonna mess up. I know she's gonna I'm gonna come out and like my windows are busted and car spray painted, but she didn't do it. And then, but she did like stalk me. I had to block her from like on my phone and block her. Then she would call me from her kid's phone, and then I'd block her on social media. And then it got to a point where like I had to send her emails. Like I had to block her emails and send them straight to spam. And then he was like, and then even still, like, I had to buy like the Ring doorbell so I could see who was coming to my door. It's not fun.
Yeah, no, I've been there, done that. As I figured, as someone in the spotlight, you probably had it occur at some point. So.
Yeah, I've had it. But I'm a pretty nice guy, so I try not to be a jerk. So I don't get it as often as I should, I guess.
Yeah.
Or as often as you would think. I try to consider myself a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. It seems like you're a good dad. You're doing the right thing and involved in the community, making a difference. So you started in theater?
I'm a huge theater buff, yeah. I started in the theater I tell people I did 10 years of theater before I even did any film work.
Okay.
So I'm a veteran on stage. Unfortunately, I haven't been on stage probably in about 3 years, and I'm very, very homesick. I love the theater. I go to theater often. I love teaching students theater, but that's kind of where my training comes from. And but yeah, and then theater didn't pay much, so I had to start doing movies.
Yeah. What's your favorite musical?
I'm a big fan of Hamilton.
Okay.
That's just like one of the most recent ones. But then I saw a Buffalo State College last year did a adaptation of The Color Purple, the movie, and they did it into a musical.
I saw
was
that once. It's
amazing because I got a chance to see a lot of my students that I teach performing and singing their hearts out. And it was just, I felt like they were my kids up there. You know what I mean? Or just, it was. So I think that was kind of one of my best performances that I've ever seen. The Color Purple, the musical, was just amazing. So
I saw that at Shays, and I'm a huge Alice Walker fan. I did African American gender studies actually at University of Buffalo for a minor, and I actually. It was a little odd. I didn't like the one song where they kind of devalued rape, and they made it so upbeat and positive that you didn't realize actually what occurred in the musical. So it was like, okay, what happened? Why is everyone so happy? But that was the only part like I would criticize in it. But other than that, it was a good one. I didn't like War Horse. That was a little intense as a musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm more a Joseph Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat fan. So.
Okay.
You know that. But thank you for coming on. Anything you want to talk about or say on how to locate you if anyone's casting or any upcoming acting classes?
What's funny is that I'm still yet to like become a professional.
Yeah.
So I still have like my childhood nickname and like my street name on Facebook.
That's what Trazz is. I thought that was your rap name, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
Yeah. So when did you think you were gonna be a rapper?
I did that for a good portion of my life, and that's kind of in my neighborhood how everybody knew me and stuff. And
Yeah.
but I refuse to let it go. So I don't want to be a professional. So you can't find me on Facebook under Peter Johnson. You find me under Trazz Johnson, Trazz, and that's just me holding on to my youth and my youthful experiences in my neighborhood nickname because I refuse to be a professional.
Yeah, and grow up. Forever
Yeah,
21.
I'm going to be 70. And everybody's like, Trazz Johnson. Thinking that that's my real name, and it ain't. So, yeah, I don't know. That's about it. That's just, me. So, I don't, you can find me on social media.
Yeah.
Trazz Johnson, Trazz9 on Instagram. And, I need, I think Facebook, like, I can't even have any more friends.
They can follow you. And you post public enough, so. I do the same thing. I post public.
Yeah, I post public. I don't have anything to hide, so I post public. And Instagram is the same thing. But yeah, on Facebook, I don't think they won't even allow me to have any more friends.
Yeah, they cut you off at 5,000. Then you just follow.
Facebook is like, I don't know half those people anyway. And you know what? Here's a funny story. I was with my son yesterday, and we were out. We were going, we were going to get something to eat, and my son, my oldest son, he really thinks that I'm famous. Like he's like, oh, like he you can't tell him different, because anywhere we go, everybody's like, oh, I seen you on TV, or oh my God, the book, or everybody's just always talking about something. So he tells me that one of his teachers at his school knows me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure. Like I'm sure I know him, right? So we're out yesterday, and this random dude, and I get this all the time, this random dude comes up to me. He's like, yo, what's up, man? Oh my God, it's so good to see you, Pete. And he's like giving me a hug. And then he sees my son. He's like, oh man, I told you, son, I know you, blah, blah, blah. And then my son, he looks at me. He's like, Dad, that's the teacher I was telling you about. So I'm like, oh, it's great. So I talked to the guy for a minute, and I get our food, and we walk out, and I'm like, I don't know who the hell that guy was. Like, I have no idea who this dude was. But I get that all the time, so I'm always going to be nice. I'm always going to be, pleasant and respectful, because, like, that's me to do. But I don't know half the people that talk to me.
Yeah, it's scary because they feel they know you. I get actually, sadly enough, through events, I know almost everyone on mine through something, and guys run up to me at Walmart at the totally inappropriate times, and they like know all these details on my life, and I like, who are you? I'm not even sure. That's why I cut back on sharing. I just post a lot of stupid memes now.
You have to be nice to people, though. You have to be nice, and you have to act like, oh yeah, oh my God, you know what? It's so good to see you, man. It's been so long. Oh my God, you look so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I hope I never see you again. But
and they're like, will you sign this for me? It's like, I'm not really sorry. This is really awkward. I'm just trying to get some grapes.
Yeah, it's and that was the thing. I'm just trying to get some Rachels for me and my son. We're just trying to get some Rachels. Trying to get some Mediterranean in our life, And like he's like, yo, man, I'm like, yeah. But he I guess he's a teacher at my son's school, so teachers save the world. I love him.
Yeah, at least he recognizes you. That's fun. So.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. So everyone check him out. You can go to his casting call. It's going to be in Akron. Again at Akron Central 47 Bloomingdale 10 to 4. Bring a photograph and a pen. You cannot get the photo back.
Yeah.
And his book signing on the 29th in Easter at the Bookworm. So it's going to be a good time.
The 29th there, and then I'll be in New York City next month.
Ooh.
And then with some help of a great friend, we're setting up some other stuff. So yeah, it's gonna, and then watch the Netflix movie that's coming out too. The Netflix movie is gonna be great on the 25th, and you'll see me. I play a male nurse.
Okay.
I play. It's funny because they when they cast me in it, the character was just Nurse, and then they gave it the name of Nurse Pete. So that's my name, and it's Nurse Pete. So I'm in like 3 or 4 scenes with the main characters, and but again, I haven't seen the movie, so I hope they didn't cut me out, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I know I'm in it. I saw the trailer at least. I'm like, okay, I can see myself there and there from the background finally. So
yeah,
like finally, no, but yeah, I have some hot nurse outfits. I wore one in Hustler magazine. So I don't know, Nurse Katrina versus Nurse Pete.
Versus Nurse Pete, and guess what? I don't know how to save nobody's life, so we just gonna die together.
Right.
Because I can't save nobody's life, and hopefully I don't know if you know how to save lives.
I do. I am Narcan trained, CPR trained, and I did a lot of pharmaceutical classes at University of Buffalo, so I could do some, suck and blow, right?
There you go. I'm not doing this. I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for the interview, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We are WRFCLP 106.3 RochesterFreeRadio.com. I'm your host, Katrina Lee. We're Beyond the Pole Radio, Life Without Change Generation 2, and we're going to cut in a quick song break. Hey, welcome back. It's Beyond the Pole Radio and Life Without Change Generation 2. You can find us on Facebook, Beyond the Pole Radio, and Beyond the Pole. We have 2 pages, and there's also Life Without Shame Rochester. We are on YouTube, Life Without Shame Rochester. You can catch the original ones. It's a 25-year anniversary. We're going to big party at one nightclub, and we're going to bring Generation 2 along with the older generation and combine with all the classic kind of original terrorists of the city, Bum Olympics and chaos and women's rights groups, and everyone were just going wild because they literally touched on taboo subjects and just boom in your face. Now the world's kind of more accepting of everything. So things back then that really was chaotic isn't quite the same way anymore. So we have a lot of new skits and different ideas, and it's just going to be a blast. I'm looking forward to it. This show's going to be all different topics and interviews with tattoo artists, body piercers, strippers, porn stars, movie makers, actors, all different, all over the map, crazy, wild, zany people who are making a difference. I am one of those people. My movie that I'm in, Stage Killer, we just talked to one of actually the casting directors who's also a star in it, as a male nurse, Peter, is coming out on Netflix on Tuesday, the 25th. We are having a viewing party at the Quarter. It starts at 5 o'clock. We'll be watching it on Netflix. If you didn't catch it prior, come join us. There's going to be drink specials. There's po' boy shrimp specials, all different stuff. We're going to be sharing the event on Facebook. Everyone's welcome to come join all the acting crew and everything out in the Buffalo area, because primarily there's a lot of Buffalo artists, actors, and cast members in there. It was great. We did around October. I had a blast. I'm in multiple scenes. I'm like, there I am, and I see myself in the trailer. So this is one of the few movies I'm like, finally, I can see myself. Because when you do a lot of extra work, and the ones that are coming out were my first ones. So while I did it, I'm not really seeing myself. And I've done a lot of stand-in parts to get more pay than you do when you're a backup or a body or your background. But you also know that no one's going to spot your face. So it's kind of give or take. I don't know. You do enough projects, you don't care after a while. But check us out. Check out my website out. I'm thekatrinalee.com, KATRINALEE.com. I edited a ton of videos, a ton of new adult pictures. I'm going to keep adding pictures on every other day. I promise everyone who's complaining that I wasn't maintaining it. I agree, I've been busy. My laptop was stolen. Things were a little chaotic. It's all getting together. My New York State National Tourism commercial's out. You can watch that, check it out, and the jet boat ride, and hear about the fun Mr. Toad's Wild Ride type adventure I was on during it. You heard it also from the guy who is actually one of the principal characters. You see his face. He was a casting director. He put us through hell. Although I dearly care about him. He's such a wonderful guy, and I'm looking forward to my next movie role, so I have to be nice and watch what I say. But no, support him. Go June 29th at Easter at the Bookworm. I will be there. I'm trying to introduce him to South Towns and pull them a little out of the city. So I'm calling all my friends and relatives, and anyone come support us, come on out. If you are a bookstore owner, independent, you are something individually related with child services or a toy store, contact us. This book is amazing, and it's really a great deal for kids, and we can organize it, and hopefully it goes great, and we can get copies of that in your bookstore, or we can do an event where we can do a signing. Hopefully it works out great. Like I said, it's generic, so come support a local author who is a single father who's trying to do the best thing for his family. And you never know, he can get you in the movies. There's your opportunity. So don't forget, we are Beyond the Pole Radio, Life Without Shame. I'm Katrina Lee. Check me out in my upcoming ventures, thekatrinalee.com, Katrina Lee on Facebook, Katrina Lee from my rehab groups, and then Katrina Lee, the Facebook page. Have a great night, everyone. Bum, 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 bum.